What's going on, y'all? Hey, bro, real quick, cut to the chase. I found something with Jalopy on my own time, as well as following up with this future, with these new statements on this case, bro. I think I found something that is very telling, at least adds on to what we were talking about previously when I last went live on here. We were talking about Kojo. We were talking about the situations involving Kojo and this lawsuit, how Drake had paid private investigators to go and look for this guy. Moving forward, bro, it looks like the case has updated and now the narrative has switched to this woman. Shout out Nate Hugo in the chat. Shout out Regal Love in the chat. Shout out Chalk in the chat. We'll get into it in a minute, man. I know the live just kicked off, but shout out everybody that's in here, man. Blessings. Hope everybody had a good day. We're going to get into this shit, bro, because there's a lot of things that we need to discuss that is going to go crazy, bro. The things that we've discovered, the things that me and Jalopy had talked about are in connection to what we've talked about on the last live when we discussed Kojo. And it was just funny because it just happened so randomly. Get the likes up, y'all. Shout out everybody that's in here, all the day one supporters. I appreciate you so much. Shout out Mansa. Shout out Queen Cookie, Crinjo, Chastity, Fawcett. What up? Anime Lunch Table, Nate Hugo. I appreciate everybody, bro. Yeah, Nate. And it's funny that you say that you deleted Twitter because Twitter is where all the propaganda is coming from. For some reason in this lawsuit, every single reference comes from Twitter. Every single reference is coming from Twitter, and everything is just getting a little spooky, if you will. A lot of things are just getting very, bro, I promise you, everything that is happening currently right now with this case, it looks like they're trying to spew propaganda, but look like they're not the ones doing it. And I'm going to explain in a second. Shout out Zenas in the chat, W Zenas, we the bill. Everybody get the likes up, y'all. I appreciate Zenas being in here as a moderator tonight. Thank you, Zenas, so much. And everybody that's in here as well, bro, because after what me and Jalopy had talked about, and let me bring this up here because I have to talk about this, bro. I'm going to bring up the case, right? Let me see. We got court listener. Let's see. When me and Jalopy were talking on live, I have and you shout out Jalopy. You go and check out his channel. We had did a live discussion where we had talked about two things that added up with each other. I was talking about Kojo when Drake had paid private investigators to look for this man named Kojo, who he claims is responsible for pushing defamatory material when it came to him, Drake, right? He had spent all that money looking for this guy. And in research looking for this guy, we were able to determine that they might not have the right information, or at least his private investigators were looking into a Kojo, or at least a Kojo that people were trying to frame to look like the one that's associated with Kendrick Lamar. Because all these scam reports started coming out. A lot of it just didn't look strange. They were posted on the same day by 3 different people in 2 different states. It just didn't add up. It looked planted. And I'm telling this to Jalopy, right? Giving him the whole rundown. And he told me, it's funny that you say that because there's this page on Twitter that's called No NDA or whatever. And they're just posting a whole bunch of propaganda. At least from that point, Jalopy was saying that page was not to be trusted. He was saying that I think that they're throwing propaganda out and seeing if anything sticks. And when he was telling me that, we were talking about the page, right? In question. He said, I think this page is a smear campaign page. Look, check this out. And I'm only going to bring this page up because this is what Jalopy was talking about. Let me see. Here it is. I appreciate everybody that's tapped in, man. Get the likes up, y'all. I'm about to go in on this situation here. So mind you, when we did anybody that was tapped into the last live, you know that we were talking about Kojo, right? And we're talking about how it looked like there was some information that seemed like it was planted or it was scam. moving forward, I tell that to Jalopy. Jalopy tells me about this page that's also doing like some type of smear campaign on Twitter. So we get into discussion about this page, and I'm like, oh, okay, hold on, let me turn off my fan. So we get into discussion about this page. Jalopy is telling me that this page has been posting a lot of propaganda. It's claiming that there's pages that are being paid to talk smack about Drake. This is what this page is doing. It's basically backing up Drake. It's trying to tell the people that every other page is orchestrated and paid to talk shit about Drake, and that this page is exposing those pages. However, Jalopy was telling me he doesn't believe this and that it doesn't look real. Come to find out, this person, whoever ran this page, recently got it deleted because they went on a fucking crazy racist rant. They went on like a super racist rant. But before that, they tried to expose something and people made fun of them for it. So Jalopy had sent me this, right? Jalopy had sent me this. This is Jalopy's account. He sent me this the minute that he saw it. And he said, I told you they were, he was basically telling me, I told you so. Like he was like showing me proof that he knew that this wasn't a real account, or at least that this is a propaganda account. He said, Triple N exclusive, proof that NFR podcast, and NFR podcast is another Twitter account, another page that's a hip hop media platform. They're saying that NFR podcast was paid to slander Drake by an agency that represents Interscope and UMG. The agency also bought it Not Like Us and many other hits. NFR lawyers have tried to sweep this under the rug. Now, NFR, the company in question, they have not responded to this individual at all. NDA is trying to say that someone over there at Interscope is paying Twitter accounts like NFR Podcast to talk shit about Drake. However, the minute that he shows the invoice from these individuals, people start making fun of NDA Network. People start making fun of this account for posting this information because this invoice that apparently is the end-all be-all evidence isn't real. It's fake. But the reason why it caught my attention so much is because when you look at the name, one of the names on here, it says Ramon Alvarez Smickel, right? Now, let me remind you, when I was doing my own research, when it came to Kojo, I was looking at the 63 listed people in the document. So Kojo was one of them, and it was the main focus because Drake had paid 75 grand to look for this guy. But he is one of the 63 people named in Drake's witness list, right? The person right next to Kojo is this individual named right here, Ramon Alvarez Smickel with Interscope. When I saw that name, I was like, something doesn't look right. Why is Drake looking for Kojo that's named in this 63 witness page, and the person right next to it is being like part of the smear campaign from this Twitter account? This Ramon Smickel guy is listed in Drake's lawsuit. Let me bring it up right here. I gotta find it and I gotta show you because this is insane. Hold on, let me see. Let me see. 64 notice parties. It's this one, right? Oh, I know what to do. Hold up. Get the likes up, y'all. Hold on. Let me see. I got to show y'all this, bro. And I know I took a video of it too. Because this is what caught my attention with this name. Where's the one for July? Lawsuit. This one? Hold up. Yeah, this is the one. June 21st. Asamoah, plaintiff. Look right here. Declaration of supermotion. We have to find the one where it said the 63 people. Hold on. That's the oral argument. That's Kojo. 66 motion. Is it this one? It's before this one. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so look at this. We got Anthony Saleh. These are all the people that are in Drake's witness list, y'all. So I'm going to go to the top. We got Tony the Hitmaker, Tiffany Bullock, Laura A. Cotter, Jesse Collins, Bill Evans, David Isaac, Jody Gerson, Sir Lucian Grange, Jeffrey Harleston, John Janik. Let me see where it says Kojo. Look right here. And this is the only reason why it stood out to me so much. You could see it right here. Ramon Alvarez Smickel, and right under it is Kojo Monét Asamoah. So when I had saw this, I was like, what the actual fuck? Why is this name right next to Kojo's? Now, let me remind you, in our own dedicated research, we found out that there was a lot of scam reports belonging to Kojo. Apparently, there was multiple people that mass reported Kojo on the scam website, and it just didn't look real. It didn't look legit. It looked planted, because how are three people going to post about one guy on the same day on the same website? There is no way, bro. That had to have been mass reported. But anyways, I tell this to Jalopy. Jalopy tells me about this Twitter account, and we both say that that's funny that you're saying that. It seems like things are being planted, right? This account shares this fake invoice trying to frame Ramon Alvarez Smickel. Now, the reason why this catches my attention so much is because he's also named in the witness list that Drake had created. So Drake created this witness list, and not only is looking for Kojo, but also named this Ramon Alvarez Smickel. But this guy is being accused on Twitter of paying pages like NFR Podcast to throw propaganda about Drake. Now, this account is starting to look fucking compromised, okay? And the reason why is because it's starting to look like it's trying to spin narratives in favor of Drake. And this is just one. These are just two people that have been involved. I can expect that there's going to be more people that we're going to hear about, and all these fake propaganda about them. Who knows until it's time to hear about Jordan Bell. And when is Jordan Bell? And this is just an example, right? We have another person, right? And I don't know about this person at all, but I'm just saying, in some time in the near future, we're going to hear about all of these names, and they're going to have propaganda tied to their name. And this is happening right in front of us, bro. They're trying to make Kojo look like a scammer. They're trying to make Ramon Alvarez Smickel look like someone who's paying Twitter accounts to talk shit about Drake. Now, first of all, why would somebody at Interscope pay Twitter accounts to talk shit about Drake? That shit is so fucking stupid. And if you believe that, bro, you are very gullible. Very gullible. There is no fucking way that someone would leave a digital footprint like that, and then once it's time to go to court, there's no way that especially when they're head of digital marketing. Oh, okay. So the head of digital marketing is going to send an invoice. But you know what the problem is with this invoice? This invoice isn't fucking real. They and look and pay attention to this date. They put the invoice for May 6th, the day after fucking Not Like Us dropped. Like, they can't even be realistic with the fake paperwork. How are you going to send a fake ass invoice the day after Not Like Us drop, bro? So you mean to tell me that someone over there in Interscope paid someone the next day? I mean, I heard of people being stupid, but that's all the way stupid. No fucking way does somebody have, especially someone in the music biz, right? in digital marketing, right? There's no way that someone like this, like Ramon Alvarez-Smickel, that he would make a stupid mistake like that. Not only that, but they fucking use his fucking Instagram tag. They fucking using an @ They're using an @ as his identification. This shit is so fucking preposterous. And they try to claim that this guy, Smickel, had tried to pay NFR podcast 30 grand to talk shit about Drake. Now, the funny part to me is that NFR podcast hasn't responded to that, but the only reason why is because I feel like if they gave it any time, they would start to look like a guilty party. And I think that's what this fucking thing wants. The only problem is that this account, it got made fun of. People were looking at the invoice and saying that it was fucking fake. And this guy started dropping the N-word on his fucking Twitter, bro. On his Twitter, he went on a racist rant. He called Kendrick the N-word. He called Drake the N-word. He was just going off, bro. And his account got deleted. He deleted the account afterwards. And it's not until today, like 6 hours ago, where the account came back and he says that he got hacked. And his narrative now is that he got hacked because he's telling the truth. Like, what the fuck is this, bro? Like, now he's trying to spin a narrative that he got hacked because he was telling the truth. Nah, bro. Like, how many people are getting hacked like that on a regular basis, bro? Like, are you fucking stupid, bro? And he lost a lot of followers. He was at 30K and he went to 16K. My best guess is that he tried to act like he had a fucking meltdown and try to act like he got hacked. But really, he got made fun of because he dropped bullshit information and people called him out on it. This was like his fucking red button. He really thought that people were going to do this shit, and people made fun of him for it. Some OVO misinformation intern, and that's basically what it is. Join Twitter on July and only 125 posts. Do you guys see exactly what I'm saying, bro? This guy is literally a propaganda page, and he's trying to make people from the document that Drake had listed. This is just one person that Drake had named on the witness list, Ramon Alvarez-Smickel. But this account is going to know that name so specifically. Like, bro, how is a propaganda page going to know that unless someone is pushing this information to them to exploit it? This is what's going on right in front of us. They're trying to make people in that 63 page witness list look like criminals. They're trying to make everybody that Drake had named. Look at this. And look how this starts, right? And tell me if I'm tripping or not. Look, the following disclosures do not include persons whose testimony is likely to be used solely for impeachment, rebuttal, expert witness testimony. Drake has provided the addresses and information numbered of listed individuals. And the first 4 people listed is himself, UMG, Ramon Alvarez-Smickel, and Kojo. Now, the first people on his fucking witness list are the first people being targeted for propaganda. Ain't no fucking way, bro. So you mean Kojo is being accused of scamming on some weird-ass website, and Ramon is being accused of paying people invoices to talk shit about Drake? The first 2 people on his witness list are already being accused of propaganda. And if you ask me, maybe the next day, Jordan Bell and Steve Berman are going to start getting accusations thrown on their name. It's going to go down the line, I'm assuming. They're not even smart enough to go and at a random order. They're just going based off of the list going down, bro. Ramon and Kojo, those were the first on the list. Those are the first people we talk shit about. Look at that shit. Ramon and Kojo, right there, name and title. First people named as witnesses, Ramon and Kojo. We got Drake, UMG, and then we got Ramon and Kojo. That's how it fucking starts, and we're just going to keep going down the fucking list. Like, bro, we're not fucking slow, bro. This looks so fucking planted. It looks so fucking obvious that somebody is trying to make these individuals that Drake named look bad, so that way when they go to court, they could look like fucking criminals. But in reality, it's people like the NDA network that are trying to spew propaganda about these people, so when it's time to go to court, they already look guilty. You see what I'm saying? And they're trying to paint themselves look innocent. Not only does NDA network come back and try to claim that he was hacked and that they're hacking him because he's spilling the beans, he's spilling the truth. That's not true. You didn't get hacked. You said you were doing that shit to yourself on purpose. You said that racist shit about your own account on purpose to make it look like you got hacked, so that people could think that like what that people that you're actually onto something and that people are going to try to silence you, bro. Like that's not real. You're trying to like fake something to make yourself look credible, and you're not credible at all, because there's no way that somebody, and let me just say this right now, if you were somebody that's on Drake's side and you have an invoice from somebody at Interscope paying somebody to talk shit about Drake, wouldn't it make more sense to give this to the fucking lawyers? Wouldn't it make sense to give this receipt to the people in the lawsuit? This would help Drake when you give it to his lawyers. It does not help him if you just post this on the internet. But the reason why you're so comfortable just posting on the internet and not giving this to Drake is because it's not real. It's not real. And people are making fun of this shit. Look at this shit. Somebody had sent me this shit, bro. And this is the most hilarious shit in the fucking world. Hold on. Let me see. Let's see. I got to show you, bro, because this is the fakest shit I've ever seen. Hold on. Get the likes up, y'all. Hold on. Let me see. I'm going to try to pull this up right here. Right there. Yeah, right here. Look. This is somebody that's using invoice generator on Google. This is literally the same format that they had used, and someone just showed them. Someone literally just went online and made this in like 2 minutes. Look, it's the same thing. We got the one that they created, right? Invoice. Look, invoice, right? The bill to. Look, invoice. The bill to Drake, shipped to Drake for $1 million, rat beef, $1 million. Like, do you see how fucking obvious, bro, and desperate that they are trying to put this shit up, man? They think that they're fucking smart, bro. Like, they think that we're imbeciles. They think that we're stupid. They don't think that we know what the fuck they're doing. And the fact is that the case that was updated, and I saw Absolutely's video. Someone had told me on Discord that she had talked about it, and I looked at it, and she was quite surprised as well. She was looking at it, and she was like, wow, I don't know why this girl's being brought up, or I don't know why she's like inserting herself. And it started, and as I started reading the case for myself, I started to understand. I think I know why she's trying to insert herself. It all goes back to this article, and we'll get into that right now. But big shout out to Absolutely, because if it wasn't for Jalopy telling me about this Twitter account, and if it wasn't for her update on the case, I wouldn't have been able to put these three stories together. All of these stories are put together because they all involve the lawsuit, right? But this Twitter situation came from fucking Twitter. But the only reason why I know it has anything to do with the lawsuit is because they're fucking naming somebody from there and trying to make them look like a guilty person. This guy, and it's funny because all the people that are named to look guilty, they're not even responding to this, because they know if they give this energy, it's going to make them look guilty, even if they didn't do anything. Even if Ramon Alvarez Mickle or the NFR podcast didn't do anything, if they respond to this guy, it's going to make them look like a guilty party, because the minute that you acknowledge it, it starts to look like you have something to do with it. So it's a very smart move for NFR not to respond to this. I hope that they don't. And Ramon Alvarez Mickle from Interscope, I hope that he doesn't either. I'm sure that he'd already caught wind of this and is probably trying to take the proper action, but definitely speaking up against this is something that is definitely something that they want. This is crazy, bro. Somebody literally just faked that shit on the internet. Yeah, and that's the thing. Once he got exposed for posting a fake invoice, they crashed out on Twitter, started saying the N-word about Kendrick, Drake, and everybody else, and they just started talking crazy, bro. And I think it's because they got mad that they thought that this was their bombshell. I think that they thought dropping this invoice was gonna do something, and then people made fun of him, and I think he crashed out and he tried to act like he was hacked because he came back. His account's back today, and he's trying to act like his account is back and that he got hacked because he tried to expose the truth. Like, bro, you're really trying to spin the narrative that you got hacked because what you're posting is severe. Like, let's just be real for a second, bro. Everything that you're posting is fake. They're spiraling, bro. Spiraling, bro. Big shout out, bro. Big shout out to Zenas. W Zenas for the $50 donation, bro. Let's fucking go. W Zenas in the chat, y'all. W fucking Zenas in the chat. Let's fucking go. W mod, bro. W Zenas. Let's go, man. Let's fucking go, man. And I wanted to talk to Jalopy about this, bro. I was waiting for him to go live, or I was waiting for him to hit me up. And I'll definitely talk about this with Jalopy more because I wouldn't have found out about this account and what it was doing if it wasn't for Jalopy, as well as the updates with the case. I was looking into it and someone told me that absolutely was checking it out. And I was like, oh my God. So I'm not the only one that thinks that this is weird. It is weird because when I saw her reaction to it, it was more or less the same as mine. I was like, this is very strange. This is very like, why is this person like why is this person and you'll see what I mean right now, because the next update on the case, and I could just pull a picture that I had shared on the Discord. Oh, real quick, let me just show you. By the way, whoever made this fake invoice, they just used this right here. I think apparently this is called Canva.com. You can make any invoice for anybody and send it to them, bro. Apparently this is a thing. I didn't know you could generate fucking invoices on Google. That's fucking hilarious. But let me get to the next topic, bro, because the next topic is super interesting. Like, as it still correlates with everything that we've been talking about up until this point. It just makes everything more strange, right? Look, check this out. Big W to Zenas. Thank you so much, Zenas. I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. Big W to all the women in the chat, all the men in the chat, all the hardworking people in the chat, bro. And check this out, bro. So look, moving forward, okay, this is the next update in the case. Why does this person, Monét Merchant, lodged Drake's rebuttal against UMG's statement to dismiss his amended lawsuit? This woman has inserted herself in this situation because of AI and metadata bringing up her name when you look up her and Drake's information. If you look up their name together, AI and metadata will bring up like this AI overview of her opinions about the case. And I'm assuming that because it recognizes her as a spectator of this, she's acknowledged her name and she's acknowledged this case and submitted this. But the thing that she's quoted in the article from Sportskita or Swordskeeta, whatever it's called, she says, smear campaign don't win the courtroom. And I was like, what the fuck? So now this woman who was on Drake's side, this is in Drake's favor. She's saying that smear campaigns don't win in the courtroom. Now, all of a sudden, this case gets updated. And the first person that's involved in this new update, Monét Merchant, she's quoted in Drake's favor to say that smear campaigns don't win the courtroom. Right after all of these smear campaigns come out, this woman is saying that smear campaigns don't win, as if Drake is the one not doing anything, almost like if it's like a safety blanket. Yeah, like let's make it look like we're not smear campaigning anybody. There's a woman in this art and she's bringing this upon herself. It looks fucking weird, bro. It look and like, look, you'll see right now. I'll pull this up right now and I will show you, bro. But this is fucking crazy. Love you, Zenas. And look, man, all these people are paid actors. That's exactly what I'm trying to get to. What are the odds that this woman gets involved in the case? She gets named in the case. And one of the first things that she's ever quoted to say in Drake's favor was that smear campaigns don't win the courtroom. The truth does. That's what she's quoted to fucking say. But now we have all these fucking smear campaigns out that look like it might be in favor of Drake. All of these are to make Interscope, UMG, Kendrick Lamar look guilty. But at the same time, we have this woman who's saying that Drake is the one that's playing fair. Nah, bro, you cannot fool me. This does not look believable at all. All these propaganda situations are going out, and this case gets updated literally 2 days ago, talking about smear campaigns. What are the fucking odds? What are the fucking odds? The thing is that this is different from Joe Cat. Remember the other guy with the USB? I don't know if you're referring to Joe Cat. The problem with Joe Cat, I never thought that Joe Cat had any involvement with anybody. I think he was just looking for attention. This person, however, either they are looking for attention as well, or they're playing on the propaganda angle. All of them are playing on the propaganda angle, but her job is a little bit different from what it looks like. From what it looks like she's trying to make it seem like they're pushing propaganda, similar to what this fucking account on Twitter is doing. He's trying to say that they're pushing propaganda, they're doing the smear campaign, but really it looks like the opposite when you post shit like this and it's not real. And this is the whole thing with the Kojo thing too. All those fake websites, all those fucking websites talking about these fake scams around the same time of the beef. Look at this post right here. Like I said, it was posted on May 6th. May 6th is literally after Not Like Us dropped. Look, Kojo scammer. Look, I'm gonna show you. Look at these two. All these posts about Kojo are literally after the beef, bro. Look, watch. So I can zoom in. All of the first report about Kojo was April 29th. That was the day after Euphoria had dropped. Moving forward, I guess this is another one, April 13th. Oh, no, this is the same one. I guess it just updated. May 9th, May 10th, May 10th, May 10th. All of these were after the beef. All of these were literally after all the songs that came out. But the problem is that this shit don't look real, because how is somebody going to report this guy in Los Angeles and then report him in Florida and then talk about a creepy situation involving him as well? How is he going to be at 3 different places at once, bro? And not only that, how is Yadon, Chase, and Hannah all going to report this guy on the same day, on the same website at the same time? There's no fucking way, unless they're mass reporting bullshit about this guy. There's no way that they talked about this guy on the same fucking exact day. It's impossible, unless they were paid to, unless they're all in on it and they're trying to make him look guilty. I think that the smear campaign involving Kojo and Ramon is connected to Drake, allegedly. We'll keep it alleged, bro. But then this woman on his lawsuit out of nowhere saying that in favor of him, and she's saying this in favor of Drake, that smear campaigns don't win in the courtroom. Like, that's fucking hilarious. Like, they're trying to make themselves the ones that are innocent here when they're the ones really pushing that shit to the fucking fullest. And everybody's just acting like, oh yeah, for sure. Like, yeah. Like, no, bro. That shit, they're trying to make us look stupid. Selective amnesia. I'm telling you. And that's the whole point moving forward, bro. Every single person that's involved in this shit is lying. Nathan. I'm just gonna say Nathan. I almost said that shit. Shout out, bro. Shout out Nathan. W Nathan in the chat, y'all. Let's fucking go, man. W Zenus, W Nathan, bro. Nathan for the $20 donation, man. Thank you so much, bro. Hey, bro. Big salute, W Nathan in the chat, y'all. Let's fucking go, man. Hey, I appreciate it, man. Nathan said, online detective support donation. Hey, man, big support, bro. Thank you so much. And if it wouldn't have been because of Jalopy, bro. Oh, I thought I touched something. If it wasn't for Jalopy telling me about this account, and if it wasn't for the updates with the Monét account, I would have never realized that, bro. I would have never realized that this shit was just bigger than what I expected. And check out Jalopy's video moving forward. Jalopy had just dropped a video talking about all the things similar to what I'm breaking down now. in the grander scheme of things, because when it starts, when government entities start getting involved, that's when things are going to start looking a little bit more crazy. But check out Jalape's video for that. Big shout out to Sophia for the 50. W Sophia, W Nathan, y'all. She said gift. Thank you so much, Sophia. Thank you, W Nathan, W Sophia in the chat, y'all. Let's fucking go, man. Let's fucking go, man. I fucking love y'all with all my heart, bro. Okay. So I'm gonna pull up the case. I'm gonna pull up the case involving this Monét. Not to get it twisted with the real Monét. I was like, I hope people don't think that I'm talking about Monét. I'm talking about Monét. But let's fucking go, man. Let's fucking go. W Sophia in the chat, y'all. Let's fucking go. W Sophia. Thank you so much. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Yvette. Let's fucking go, man. So check this out. Going into the new case, because there is a new case, bro. These are the and it just doesn't make sense. And this is what really fucking threw me for a loop. So this girl, Monét Merchant, let me see if this is big enough for the, I need to enlarge this, right? So this girl, right, check this out. Monét Merchant, she said to the Honorable Judge of the United States District Court, she said, declaration of public interest and indexing case. A lot of people may not know what that means. I don't know what the fuck that means either, bro. But after finding out, I started to realize that she's just acknowledging the public indexing, which is like, if you look up her name on fucking Google, so I'm gonna do that right now, right? I'm gonna go on Google, right? Let me go to Google. I Googled Google. I'm an idiot. Hold on. All right. I'm interested. Okay. So look, Monét Merchant. Look, Monét Merchant. I'm gonna hit search. Doesn't seem to fucking okay. Okay. I don't think it's gonna work right here. Overview. I don't know why it's not doing it. Hold on. Here we go. Let me pull it up right here. They took screenshots of this shit. All right. So this is the AI overview. This is what she's entitling. This is the index of her and how she thinks that she plays a role in all this. At first, the AI overview is saying that Monét Merchant is reportedly Drake's lawyer and has been involved in a legal case involving Drake and UMG. This is false. This is not true. Monét Merchant isn't Drake's lawyer. She's just somebody who's given her public opinion about Drake and his lawsuit, but she is not somebody that's a lawyer. But this is her whole angle. This is where it comes from. She says the declaration is submitted solely for the record to acknowledge public indexing, thought leadership, and cultural authorship in alignment with artists' rights, without interfering with court proceedings or representing any legal party. File as a public record, not legal argument. You're documenting, not litigating. Public record. So she's implying, what I'm assuming, and I've read this whole case already, what I'm getting from this, and you could correct me right now, is that she's acknowledging what they're describing her on the internet. And I'm assuming that she's just like letting them know that it's okay to use her thoughts and likeness in this case. I mean, y'all could correct me if I'm wrong about that, but it really is a head scratcher when you put all of this in perspective. No, it's okay, Yvette. We're all just trying to figure it out. And that's what I was trying to do for the better half. W. Nathan and Sophia, again, by the way, big supporters, big salute, big shout outs. And look, man, the whole point that I'm trying to say is that this person, look, going down, it's going to say more. Here's a breakdown of her reported role. Legal representation, that's not true. She is not a legal representation of Drake. This is false. Defamation case, he suggests The legal action involves defamation that Kendrick Lamar played a role possibly through UMG, legal brief. So this is them breaking it down. Information about Monét Merchant. Now, this is accurate from this point. She's not Drake's lawyer, but this information about her seems to be accurate. She's a hip-hop artist. She's the founder of Skinsational Beauty. She's associated with Victory Note Records. Okay, so she's a real entity. Possible connection. Monét Merchant has recently been vocal about Drake's legal case against UMG. Now, this part is true. She's not Drake's lawyer, but she has been vocal about Drake's situation. And that's the screenshot of the article that I sent you. We're about to see it right now. Her tweet suggests that she has prepared the official legal defense brief in the UMG case against Drake. She has prepared the official legal defense. Now, this is not true, but I think that the way that she's wording things on her Twitter and the way that the AI overview is defining her and her tweets, I think this is giving her thought in her brain that she could involve herself. You see what I'm saying? Like, because AI is recognizing her and her involvement in this UMG case, even though she hasn't been involved and we haven't heard of her up until this point, the reason why she feels like she should be a part of this case is because AI overview is acknowledging who she is. Like, that's like me wanting to be involved in this case because you look up me and Drake's name at the same time. And then you find out that I was talking about him on Twitter. Like, what the fuck, bro? And it just fucking fucks with me because who the hell really thinks that they could get access to this case just because you Googled your name and Drake's and an article had came up? Like, what the fuck, bro? I think so, man. It really does feel like master manipulation. Because she was in an article. That's the point. She was just in one article. So you mean to tell me that any person that's listed in an article talking about Drake and his lawsuit could send a letter to the judge and tell them to involve them in it? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that doesn't make any sense. But why her? Out of all people, why did she decide to step in? I think that's the real question. It's not why is she doing this, but why her? Out of all people. And it goes back to the question that I talked about with Kojo. Why is she the one going to the court and making all of this? Like, and I go to her Twitter, bro, and I found her Twitter. She hasn't tweeted in fucking in a week or two. Now that looks strange. Now the person that's involved in this lawsuit hasn't posted on Twitter for like 2 weeks. Shout out Princess China. Shout out TG and Nate, Hugo, Yvette, everybody, Crash Theater, Andrew, Zenas, W, Sophia, W, Nathan, W, Zenas in the chat. Shout out Daniel, Lisa, what up? Shout out all the day ones and everybody that's coming from Patreon, Rob Base, big salute, Chalk, big salute. Get the likes up, y'all. I'm gonna take a quick drink, man. Don't forget to hydrate, y'all. I try to get the information out as fast as I could, bro, before it slipped my mind. But this is the thing that really just gets me, because from everything she says, she views this legal action as significant, not just for Drake, but for all artists facing similar issues of defamation, harassment, and streaming corruption. Okay, so going down, we could see that this is the overview. I guess this is just Google on the mobile. I don't know. Monét Merchant is a name associated with commentary on the business dealings of Drake. Now, this AI overview is more accurate than the one that we saw originally when they were trying to confuse her as a lawyer. She's not any legal representation of Drake, but she wouldn't mind if they used her as some type of example. You see what I'm saying? Merchant's commentary often focuses on the business strategies and potential financial implications of these situations. She's a commentator. She is not anybody that she don't got a dog in this race, bro. She might say that she's going for Drake, but she is not a lawyer. She is not somebody involved in this directly. She's just a spectator, commentator, just like me and you. This is the article that I showed you in the beginning. And I think this is the reason why she is handpicked. By who? I don't know. Is she acting on her own accord? I don't know. We'll keep it alleged, bro. I don't know what's motivating her. Maybe it's just because she Googled her name and Drake's, and this article pops up and the overview of AI pops up with that index. But respectfully, I don't think that she should get involved unless someone is telling her to get involved. But that's just me, tinfoil hat, right? Because the only article that talks about her is Sportskeeda. And in that article, they quote her from Twitter, where she says, "Smear campaigns don't win the courtroom. The truth does." That's what the quote is on Twitter. Monét Merchant lauds Drake's rebuttal, and this is her in Drake's favor. So now all of these rumors about smear campaign, because this just dropped 2 days ago, the Kojo shit and the smear campaign conversations have been in talks for more than months now, but they have been growing stronger in the past weeks. Now, moving forward, this girl is talking about wanting to use her information to list herself in this case. And now the word smear campaign is being mentioned in the lawsuit through Monét Merchant, of course. But this is just fucking weird. Now smear campaigns is worded in the fucking lawsuit. But it's in favor of Drake. So it's supposed to make Drake look good, right? But couldn't that just be on purpose because you're already out here trying to project that shit on somebody else or innocent people? Big shout out to Captain W. Captain in the chat for the donation, man. He said for Drake's entire rap career is he said Drake's entire rap career is a scam. W. Captain, y'all. W. Captain. W. Captain, y'all. And you know what, Captain? I agree. It is a fucking scam. And it's starting to look more like propaganda every single fucking day that I read this case. Every time that I see this case and something updates, it just doesn't look right at all. So check this out. And join the Patreon. Big shout out to Zenas, W Zenas. Join the Patreon. Make sure, yes, thank you, Yvette. W Captain as well. So check this out. As a commentator, Merchant uses the platform Twitter. Does that sound familiar? Does this sound familiar, bro? Everybody that's backing up Drake is coming from fucking Twitter, bro. All of this shit is fabricated. I think that girl is in on it. I think Monét is in on it. I think NDA is in on it. I think whoever tried to post Kojo's information on this ripoff account, bro, I think they're in on it also. I assume that these people are working for Drake, allegedly. We'll keep it alleged. I can't prove it, but everything that's coming out doesn't look real. Everything looks fake. From the ripoffs talking about Kojo, from this fucking fake ass invoice, right? From this fake ass invoice to both of them being named in the lawsuit right next to each other, the first two people, seems like they're just going down the list, trying to make people look bad in Drake's fucking witness list. It's fucking hilarious. And then we got this girl in favor of Drake, backing him up, saying that they're the ones throwing smear campaigns, not Drake. Like, what the fuck, bro? All of this just happened so fucking conveniently around the time that all this shit starts leaking out. Always alleged. It lets you know that these weird fans are not a fan of hip hop because this is getting out of hand. And what's bothering me most when I talked to Jalopy about this, right? I had spoke to Jalopy and I told him, well, what do you think it is? Do you think that these are people trying to defend Drake by throwing smear campaigns? Or do you think that he is responsible for all of this firsthand? What I'm saying is, Drake responsible, or is he just being misguided by what he's reading online? Or is he the one telling him to post this shit online? It has to be one of the two. Either he's dumb enough to believe his fans and believe all the propaganda that's being put out there, or he's telling them to post this shit themselves. Is this the same funny business as the two alleged victims in the lawsuit with TDE, with one of them having previously presented Drake's father as an artist? Nah, and that's another thing. I agree. Crash Theater, you have a point. Because it was funny when that case started coming up that the woman involved, forgot her name, I think it was like Laura or something. She had worked with Drake's dad, and her company had worked with Drake in the past. So it didn't look right either. And I guess that she's going to go to court for something totally different. It might be something unrelated. It could be like something that was supposed to be done on another perspective, I guess. But this all right here ties to the lawsuit. I think that shit that happened with TDE and all that shit, it could have been something related to propaganda, but I think it was on its own time. I think that's propaganda, but on a different time, because that shit happened like months ago, and they're going to court for that shit at a separate time. So that's like a whole other battle. So I guess it might just be a whole other thing. I don't think that it's real though. I think they're trying to make them look bad. Just like they're trying to make everybody else look bad. Like they're trying to make every single person look bad, bro. Everybody. They want you might actually I get what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah. They're trying to make everybody from that side look bad. No matter how they try to do it, no matter who does it, they'll find a way. Time will tell. Also claimed that she never worked for TD and have text to refute claims. And that's another thing, bro. I'm telling you, bro, I didn't believe that shit either. I didn't believe that shit at all. I did a video. You could check it out. I had investigated that shit too, bro. That shit was not real. Shout out in the pocket, man. Salute, man. You gotta catch the replay. We're definitely finding some shit out, right? And I think I have some more of these tweets. Hold on, let me pull them up here. I got more of these tweets right here. Cause that I gotta go back to the fucking the NDA, the no NDA network shit. Let me pull this picture right here. I had all these pictures here. Hold on. There's people right now exposing that account too. Look, check this out. Gotham Hip Hop, I believe, is another hip hop account on Twitter, and they had responded to this individual, and they responded back. They said, this is made using the first thing that pops up when you search invoice generator on Google. No NDA responded, UMG has you on payroll. Like, I think it's like, bro, what the fuck? Like, now, look, watch, in the near future, bro, they're going to say that I'm under UMG's payroll. Like, bro, that's just so fucking funny, bro. UMG has you on payroll. That's fucking hilarious. This account will literally just say anybody's on payroll. Look, bro, in the near future, this guy's gonna say that we're on the payroll too. We're working with UMG also. Like, they're just gonna start saying stupid shit, just making up shit as we keep going, bro. So look, check this out. UMG has you on payroll. Do you want to publicly state that you have never been involved in any paid campaigns from UMG/Rock Nation? Don't make me expose you as well. So they could go to the invoice generator and create another fake invoice belonging to Gotham Hip Hop. And you know what's going to be so fucking funny? When they make this fake ass invoice, it's probably going to say Gotham Hip Hop on it. It's not even going to say his real name. And this continues to go further because I think we had another one here, another post here from them. Let me see. Was it this one? Yeah, I can put that right there. Oh, yeah, I gotta fix this one because I'm not gonna put the slurs up there, bro. That's fucked up. Hold on, save images. Let me mark. How do I mark up an image? Oh yeah, there you go. There you go. Mark up. My bad, y'all. I'm trying to remove the. This is when they got exposed, right? After they started saying that those invoices weren't real, people started attacking him, saying that the invoices were fake. he crashed out, right? Hold on, let me see. He said, "This is my last tweet." I fucking and let me remind you, after everybody started calling him cap and saying that he was full of shit and that he's fucking lying and that he's not telling the truth, he started going on rampage mode. He just went full fucking Donald Trump on this bitch. Hold on, look. He just went full fucking racist. Look at this shit. Another Rock Nation shield exposed. Keep in mind, Rock Nation organized this exactly 1 week before Big Sean's album dropped last year for promo. Surprise, NFR podcast has 6 blank in a basement and they take turns pissing on them. Then they make them do little dances for entertainment. So this is like obviously them crashing out over the fucking fake invoice that they couldn't like get people to believe. Like they just started crashing out, bro. Like they just started going crazy. And then they started just saying everybody was the N-word. They said Kendrick or Drake, who cares? And then both are blank. You know, like they just are just fucking at this point, this is them just trying to just fucking crash out because nobody would believe them. But then they try to spin it again. Right? They try to act like they're gonna drop a bomb before their page gets smoked or whatever the fuck. Like they're acting like this isn't them, right? So look, and now this is their after going on that racist rant and after fucking crashing out because nobody would believe them. They go online today. Their account gets unlocked today because after that racist rant, they got banned, and then they come back. And they say 20,000 followers disappeared because they dropped like 20K like followers, and now they only have like 10 or 16K. They said Indonesian logins. Now they're saying that people were trying to hack their account from Indonesia. What the fuck? All right, I guess. Failed doxing attempts. Racism tweets. Now they're saying that the racism tweets weren't them. Only way to get me perma-banned instantly was for somebody to hack them and say racist ass shit. And I'm still here. I wonder why these people would go through all these loops if I was here lying to you. Now, it's easy to say that someone was trying to hack you because you have some type of special information, or if people just called you out on bullshit and said that you're full of shit, and then you crash out and make it look like someone hacked you on purpose to make it seem like everything that you say is believable or liable. Then maybe that is more believable. Maybe you're just trying to make yourself look like a victim. I mean, you look up to Drake, so I wouldn't doubt that you're trying to play the victim. Like, you see what I'm saying, bro? This shit is crazy, bro. Their fans are starting to play victim just like Drake is, bro. This guy sounds like a young man. Now, definitely a stupid man, for sure. Shout out J-Tom Reactions, bro. Oh, my God. And I'm telling you, bro, this shit is continuing to go. Where's Ebony? He's sure been quiet lately. Now for real. He said he was gonna drop some shit on Monday. He never came through. But do you guys see what I'm trying to say, right? There's no way that all of this shit is fucking real. All the things that this account is posting, the invoice doesn't look real. The information about Kojo doesn't look real. And the way that everything is listed, it just doesn't seem legit. It looks like they're just going down Drake's witness list and just trying to make people look bad going down further. Kojo's just didn't look right only because I will say that, and I will say this, they don't look real because one person is reporting them from New York City, another person is reporting them from Los Angeles, California, and another person is reporting them from Houston, Texas. Like, Los Angeles, Miami, and New York on May 10th. There's no way that 3 people from 3 different states are going to post on the same website at the same time talking about the same person, bruh. Like I don't even think lightning could strike you fucking twice. I think it's more possible for lightning to strike you twice than for 3 people to talk about you at the same time on the same account, and none of them know each other. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's almost impossible for this to happen to you unless you're being mass reported by somebody who's trying to make you look bad. So this is definitely something that I believe is being orchestrated. This is all orchestrated, bro. And let me just be real quick with y'all, man. I do not believe anything that these accounts are posting. I think that all of these accounts are put here to make UMG, Kendrick Lamar, and his team all look bad. They're all to make him look bad. They're all to make everybody from that side look like a criminal. Master manipulator, incels, basement dwellers, they can't take losing. This is desperate, super desperate. And it's starting to look obvious. And if it looks obvious to us, imagine how it looks to the people in the court. And that's why I think this woman started playing a role in it. Because now in the most updated lawsuit in this UMG case, it's this woman trying to insert herself and trying to tell the people and try to tell the people in the court, I acknowledge who I am and the things that I've said about Drake online. Take that information for what you will. But she's talking about smear campaigns in Drake's favor. Like if Drake is not if they're trying to talk shit about Drake, but he's the one that's doing that. So now we're just saying, now this woman is protecting Drake, saying that he doesn't do smear campaigns, that UMG does. After all these smear campaigns start coming out, it just seems like now this person is just trying to make Drake look innocent. I don't think that he's innocent. I don't think that this works. And this Monét person is just looking for 15 minutes of fame, all in doing so while trying to help Drake like the other people. And it's just going to fail miserably. Oh, hit the like, man. Por favor. Por favor. Get the likes up, man. I appreciate everybody that's in the building, bro. Oh, man. I'm telling you, bro. One day, all of this shit's gonna come out in court. Kojo, I don't know when they're gonna find Kojo. I'm not sure if Drake is gonna continue looking for Kojo, but I will tell you right now, it's gonna be super hard to prove that Kojo did anything wrong. I don't think that the people that were looking for him found the right Kojo. And when Kojo finally goes to court, if he goes to court, I think it's going to be bad for Drake than it is going to be for UMG. And while all of this is happening, right, I think about what UMG said in their lawsuit when they said that the discovery was going to be, when they said that they were going to share discoveries. One thing that they had said was for Drake to be careful what you wish for because you just might get it. I think Drake is trying to plant all of this information so that way he could paint them a certain way before they reveal who he is. It would be easy to make us both look bad in front of the judge instead of just one person looking bad. Make sure y'all go follow the backup JV from the bill. Shout out Zenas. W Zenas in the chat, y'all. W Mod in the chat, y'all. Do you think Drake will have to testify? I think he will. There's no way that Drake is naming all of these people, saying all of these things, and he doesn't testify unless he's scared to testify, unless he gets choked up on the stage by one of UMG's lawyers. Can you imagine Drake on the stand and getting choked up by one of the UMG lawyers? That'd be genius. That'd be crazy. I think maybe not. Maybe he wouldn't want that, right? He wouldn't want to be questioned by UMG's lawyers. That shit would be scarce. And I don't think he will either for the other reason because Young Thug called fucking Kid Cudi a snitch. And I don't think it's gonna end well with his rapper friends either. He's gonna be crying on the stand. All of this to save face. Yeah, I mean, this is millions of dollars. I mean, they spent $75,000 to go look for a guy at these addresses that don't even belong to him. Like imagine how much money Drake is putting into this, how much money is at risk, because this is all about money. Drake is worried about money. Like he wants a settlement so bad. And I think this is and this is what Jalopy said. Thank you for reminding me. Jalopy had said that this could all be orchestrated to try to push UMG to just settle out of court. I think Drake wants UMG to settle. I don't even think Drake wants to take the stand. But if he could get UMG to settle out of court, then that's a win for him, because we know how the public thinks. If you settle out of court, then you look guilty. Even if you didn't do anything, if you settle, people automatically put that we're guilty. Similar to the invoices. Nobody responded to these invoices. Ramon Alvarez from Interscope didn't respond to this shit. And NFR Podcast on their Twitter account, they didn't respond to this shit either. But why do you think that's the case? Nobody responds because then you look guilty. That's the problem. If you settle out of court, then you look the same. You just look guilty. So maybe he could be doing all of this shit so that way he could just get UMG to admit that they just don't want to go to court anymore. Orchestrated lawsuit ammo. It does appear that way. I'm not sure if that's it has to be a real thing, right? People, that has to be interference. That has to be tampering, right? Like it has to count for something. Am I tripping? With Twitter as a primary source, I can't believe it. I can't believe it either. I don't believe. And all of this information, mind you, even the lady that they're bringing up now with this article, this is quoted from her Twitter. Let me see if I can find that shit. I think I had it like on here. Monét merchant. Let me see. I don't know if this is helpful. Let me read this shit. I'm not sure what this is. What is this? These are Dina. He also said he got swatted. Hold on. I'm reading this shit right on the side, y'all. I think it's Cat because he also said he got swatted, so they would already know who he is then. Hold on. What is this? Hold on. I'm getting some new shit, y'all. Hold on. Oh, they're posting more propaganda. So this is 10 minutes ago. Ad Standards Canada versus NFR. What the fuck is this? Hold on, let me read this shit. Appreciate the advisors through response and council members considered the two posts raised in the complaint for which compensation was received along with the advertiser's response. Advertisements are defined as any message. So they're trying to say that this is more proof. They're trying to say that this is proof. Who y'all got winning the payola case? And like I said, that shit's not real. Someone says, nice Google Docs screenshot. This is, and they respond immediately, but not even a minute. This is literal court paperwork. And then someone said, never seen this before. Like you could easily just make that shit on your computer, bro. Like what the fuck, bro? They probably watching you, bro. Bro, what the fuck, bro? Like this is like I'm just saying, bro. I'm a spectator, just like Monét Merchant, bro. Like I'm not doing anything. I'm not trying to fake paperwork or try to convince people that paperwork is real. I'm just looking at what's being presented to me and saying like that shit look fake as fuck. Like that shit don't sit right with me. Bro got caught again. Like the same day he comes back to Twitter, he just got exposed again. They just sit in Discord group chats and Photoshop actual propaganda. Like, who the fuck does this shit, bro? Unless you're getting paid. And that's what fucks with me so much. The only way that I could see anybody doing shit like this to this extent, where they would fake paperwork, is if they're getting paid. Like, someone has to be paying you, right? You don't do this shit for free. You know what I mean? Like, unless you're just a complete Drake fan incel that doesn't give a fuck. Like, they're getting paid with exposure. Well, that's the worst way to get paid. What the fuck? Exposure gonna do? Exposure can't pay my bills. Like, what the fuck? That's crazy. For clout is crazy. Clout is crazy. That's the whole point. Ugh. It's projection. That's what I was saying, Sam. They accuse others of getting paid and doing propaganda, smear campaigns while doing the same shit. They're projecting their actions on innocent people, or at least people who who we haven't even heard about or gotten or have even seen an interview or do anything. The only reason why we know the people that they're talking shit about is because it's in Drake's lawsuit. What are the odds that the people that are talking, what are the odds that the people that are being part of this smear campaign are people listed in the lawsuit? Ain't that weird also? Hold on. Big shout out to Nathan, man. Oh, Nathan, big shout out. W Nathan in the chat. He said, absolutely's video about MAGA and hip hop. I definitely got to check it out. Definitely recommend it to anybody if you want to go check out MAGA and hip hop by Absolutely. Nathan had recommended it. W Nathan in the chat. Big salute all around, bro. Let's fucking go, man. I think that the best way to describe all of this in all contexts, and I'm going to do a video about this. If you missed it, I am going to talk about this moving forward. This is the only information that I have currently right now. But in the future, tomorrow or in the morning or sometime in the near future, I'm going to do a video breaking this all down. So it could be, you know, more digestible for everybody publicly. But let me see. This live might not be up. It might be at the Patreon. So also check that out too. Go ahead and tap into the Patreon. Much appreciated. Thank you. Shout out to Zenas for posting the links. Let me see. So going back to the lawsuit, right? Because this is updating as well. Hold on. Let me see. I can't believe this guy is still faking documents, bro. This is fucking crazy. The sad part about all of this, real quick before I get back to reading the documents, the sad part about all of this, bro, is that this guy just shot all of any type of credibility that he could have had. I didn't think that he had credibility to begin with. But anybody that could have believed him probably doesn't believe him anymore at this point. It's like a dead account at this point. Fake as fuck. OV hosts believe this shit. Most generic paperwork of all time. I usually hate Bananda for banning King Vamp from this bounty. Whatever. Okay, fucking incel. Nice Google Docs. You see, nobody believes this. Nobody believes this guy. Get less believable every damn day. Damn. If this is really a Canadian lawsuit, it would be searchable in the legal system. This is not real. This is Google Docs, big dog. Bro, this is crazy, bro. W Nate in the chat, y'all. W Nathan in the chat, y'all. W absolutely in the chat. Fake ass Ebony Prince. That's funny, bro. My goat Ant will pull you through for the W. Who cares, dude? Seriously, move on. Damn. Fucking got him, bro. So as you can see, bro, nobody believes this guy anymore. And he keeps tagging NFR podcast because he thinks that they're going to fucking respond to him so it can make things more believable. I hope NFR podcast never respond to this guy. This guy is definitely just full of shit, and it keeps showing with every single post that he makes. This is his first post fucking 10 minutes ago. It's fucking hilarious. Appreciate y'all. W Nathan, man. Oh my God. Let me see. Going down here. Let me get back to the because I really want to know this girl's intentions, right? So this is going back to this lady, right? Let me just see if I could bring her. Okay. So going back to Monét Merchant, because I feel like this is another part. This is the final, I guess, piece of this week's ordeal, right? She said, I have respectfully submitted the enclosed declaration of public indexing and cultural interest in reference to the ongoing proceedings in the above captioned matter. My name is Monét Merchant, a public figure, artist, and legal advocate. In the filing is submitted in good faith as a cultural stakeholder, digital archivist, and federally indexed party who has emerged in direct alignment with the themes of the case through public discourse. Basically saying that she's just a fucking spectator that doesn't have no fucking say-so in this case. Artificial intelligence results, AI overview from fucking looking her up on Google, and intellectual contribution. Her fucking thoughts on the fucking situation. While I am not named litigant in this case, my identity has been verifiable and repeatedly linked through AI-generated metadata, digital indexing, and public documentation to legal narratives surrounding the plaintiff, Mr. Aubrey Drake Graham. Affirm my standing in matters of intellectual property and free speech as protected under the First Amendment. She says factual supports and exhibits attached hetero exhibits A and D are examples of digital search results, timestamped social media posts, visual quotes, graphics, and third-party AI search output linking my public name and commentary to the parties and issues in the case. My problem is why is this bitch, and no disrespect, but why is this fucking lady involving herself in the case in the first place? Who is telling her to do this? Is it her herself? Who is looking up their name and looking up Drake and seeing how you're coming out in the case? And then when you see that happen, when you Google your name and you see that it's tied to Drake's, why are you going so far out your fucking way to reach out to the court unless somebody's telling you to do that? Are you being paid to do this? Who is paying you to come up to the court? Or who are you getting paid? Because why would you fucking write this shit like if you were going to fucking get approved for a fucking car or something? Hold on. This is ridiculous, bro. Shout out Captain. I wish DMX was here to see this. W Captain in the chat, y'all. I just saw that, Captain. W Nathan in the chat. W Captain, Sophia, and Zenas, bro. Thank you so much. I wish DMX was alive, man. Rest in peace, DMX in the chat, y'all. These materials confirm that I have become a publicly searchable and reference contributor to this high. Oh my God. These materials confirm that I have become a publicly searchable and reference contributor to the high-profile multi-billion-dollar legal matter. When a bitch wants to look important, she'll say some stupid shit like that. This bitch ain't important, bro. She's pissing me off. I'm starting to think that she's only applying herself to this case because she wants Drake to look good. No fucking way. I don't believe this bitch. She could go to hell. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck, bro. She could go to hell. She looks like a motherfucking manipulator. Ugh. My God, bro. A DMX and Kendrick collab would go hard. So let's get through this, bro. But it already sounds like cap. It sounds like someone paid you to do all this shit. These materials confirm that I have become a publicly searchable. Oh, I just read that. Legal basis for submission. Under Rule 24A2 of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, non-parties may submit materials to the court when their interest may be practically impaired by the disposition of the case. Moreover, as a matter of equity and constitutional protection, I exercise my right to protect my reputation, prevent unauthorized dilution of my intellectual presence, and request that my role be entered into court record for posterity and review. This is not a motion to intervene, but a declaration in the public and creative interest to perceive record of my association and to assert lawful presence in the surrounding narrative. So she's saying that use my public domain, use me as an example. Is basically what she's fucking saying. But like I said, her only representation is this fucking article that talked about her tweets saying that smear campaigns don't win in the courtroom. And she's saying this in favor of Drake. After all of these smear campaigns start coming out, it doesn't look like she's doing this on purpose, especially when you look at the dates that these are posted. All of these things are, this case with her involved in it was updated July 21st. That was 2 days ago. All of this propaganda involving Kojo and the fake invoices, all of this shit with Ramon Alvarez Smickle has been talked about for weeks now. And moving forward into the upcoming week, which is now July 21st, she is saying to use me, use my name, use my commentary in this case. But her commentary is talking about how Drake is innocent and how they're using smear campaigns. Going back to projection, it all feels like they're projecting their wrongdoings on other people. I don't think that the court is going to accept Monét Merchant as somebody in the court of law. I don't think that they're going to use any of her shit in court. I think that they just look at her as a waste of time. She's just full of shit. She's full of shit, bro. I swear to God. None of that shit looks believable at all, bro. 7 words in an article. The article is big. The article is larger than that. Maybe I could find it. Hold on. Merchant. Monét Merchant. Hold on. What was it called? Monét Merchant Sportskeeda, right? Sportskeeda. It should still be there, right? Oh yeah, here it is. This is her article that they had submitted in the documents. Smear campaigns don't win in the courtroom. Monét Merchant lauds Drake's rebuttal against UMG. Musical artist Monét Merchant took to X on May 8th, 2025. So that was 2 months ago. To praise Drake's rebuttal against UMG, motion to dismiss his amended lawsuit. Drizzy initially filed a defamation suit against UMG back in January 2025 over Kendrick Lamar's diss track Not Like Us in April 2025. The rapper amended the lawsuit, citing additional details, including Lamar's Super Bowl halftime stint, wherein he performed the diss track in question. For the unversed Drizzy issue with Lamar's diss track is that it claims the rapper is a PDF file, among other defamatory lyrics. Praising Drizzy's legal team, the countering UMG dismissal attempt, Monét had wrote, "This rebuttal isn't gossip, it's precedent, case law, and facts, because smear campaigns don't win the courtroom. Evidence does." Oh, evidence does, not truth, but tomato, tomato. The rebuttal isn't gossip, the precedent, case law, facts, because smear campaigns don't win the courtroom. Evidence does. But what happens when the evidence shows that all the smear campaign is coming from Drake? What happens when this lady has to eat her own words? And I think that's the sad truth. I think that this lady eventually, she's going to have to eat her own words. And and she looks like an idiot, no offense, but she looks like a fucking idiot when she's trying to go to the court and try to tell them to use her and then the information connected to her and Drake. Because when we talk about smear campaigns, Drake is the one that looks like he's the one involved in a whole bunch of smear campaigns, right? Doesn't look legit, looks full of shit, and she's gonna have to eat her own words eventually. Ugh. Let me see. Let me keep going. Okay, so I usually don't speak on legal affairs unless lies are weaponized and law is twisted. The statement breaks it down: facts, filings, and legal code. UMG has been trying to get the lawsuit dismissed by stating that Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl Monét merchant tweets compromise, yada, yada, yada. UMG statement tries to downplay the injury by emphasizing that the Super Bowl performance did not hold the defamatory lyric. However, this is a red herring. Defamation is defined by the publication of false injurious, and I guess they're quoting her on Twitter, injurious statements made with the actual malice, not the platform on which they are decimated. What did Monet's merchant say in her tweet appreciating Drake's legal stance? And that's when she said this: Drake and his team aren't fighting for clout. The courtroom doesn't care about stadium lights. It cares about actual malice and real harm. Court isn't for clout. It's for correction. He'll see you at discovery. Let the gavel echo. And then it was Drake who started this particular exchange. This is when UMG, a spokesperson at UMG, said it was Drake's fault for starting the beef. Obviously, this lady is in favor of Drake, but I really do think that she is going to eat all of these words that she said in this article. I don't think that it's a good idea for this woman to insert herself in this lawsuit just because she was quoted talking about and spectating this beef. I don't think that it's going to help or benefit at all unless somebody had paid her to insert herself, to make herself look like a reasonable adult that is talking about this situation from a different perspective. But her perspective was talking about smear campaigns when that's exactly what's going on in front of everybody. So to me, my final thought for this and moving forward, because I have to go do something soon. Moving forward, bro, I really do think that this lady is full of shit. I think that she's being used. I think that somebody might be paying her. We'll keep it alleged, but this doesn't look legit. It just seems that she is being used by Drake or somebody in Drake's team to try to spin a narrative that Drake is the innocent one when it comes to people throwing propaganda. It just looks like they're trying to paint it on everybody else and try to make themselves look squeaky clean. Ugh. But that was the whole thing, y'all. I'll probably do a video talking about it. Oh, it's Daniel's birthday. Happy birthday, Daniel. Everybody put happy birthday, Daniel, in the chat, y'all. Oh, final thoughts, man. Final thoughts. I tried to explain that off the gate, bro. If you're new to the channel, you don't know what final thoughts is. I don't talk about anything related to the topic. I just say my thoughts before I get off. So I appreciate everybody that's been in here. If you want to stick around for the final thoughts. If not, I appreciate your time. Don't forget to hit the like button. Big W to everybody that's participated in this live stream. I will be going live with Jalopy soon, so make sure that y'all tap into that. Appreciate everybody that's donated. Shout out Nathan, Sophia, Zenas, as well as Nathan, Captain, Sophia, and Zenas, bro. I appreciate y'all's love and support. Thank you so much, man. Like I said, y'all, I don't get paid off this channel. So if y'all like to subscribe, it would mean a lot to me. If you'd like to subscribe to the Patreon, that would mean a lot to me as well. I really do think all of this was bullshit. And I would have never found out if Jalopy didn't tell me about that account. If I didn't find out about that account, bro. Well, actually, let me call Jalopy right now, y'all. Let me call Jalopy right now. We were supposed to go live, but we didn't get to. Hold on. I'm going to connect my fan. It's fucking hot, bro. I'm fucking going to have a fucking heat stroke in this bitch. Ugh. My bad, y'all. It's hot. That a motherfucker right now. Hold on. I'm going to call Jalopy right now, y'all. Let me see. Yeah, happy birthday, Daniel. I didn't know it was your birthday, bro. You should have told me something. Hold on. Hold on. Shout out Jacob for the 15. Everybody put W Jacob in the chat, y'all. Salute. Much love. Salute Jacob, man. W Jacob in the chat, y'all. I'm gonna call Jalopy, see if he answers, bro. I was supposed to get on live with him on his account, bro. We were supposed to go live on his channel, but he never hit me back today. I'm calling him, bro. Why he don't answer me when I'm on live, bro? He probably watching me right now, bro. Hold on. He ain't answer me. He hates me. Well, I tried calling him, man. I really wanted to talk about all of this with Jalop because he knows more about the whole about this guy or whatever. This guy's getting cooked, bro. This is probably the funniest shit that I've seen like the rest of this fucking live, bro. This shit was hilarious. Oh my god. Hold on. My favorite thing was this guy just saying like, hold on, where is it? Where was it? He's like, gets less believable every day, man. That shit's hilarious, bro. Y'all see, hold on. There was another thing too that I wanted to react to before I get off. This other shit. Hey y'all. What the fuck, bro? Nah, I don't want to show that. That's stupid. Y'all see Rick Ross with that guy, or is it a girl? People keep saying it's a girl, y'all, but they they said it was a guy, bro. They were like, "It's a girl, bro." I was like, "Damn, that's crazy." If it's a girl, it's a girl. Fuck it. Hold on. This is funny. This is funny. Oh, that's funny. That shit's retarded, bro. That shit's funny, man. Oh my god. I need to hit the bowl, bro. It fucking got hot in this bitch, bro. Hold on. Everybody hit a bowl, man. Everybody drink your drink, smoke your smoke, bro. Get the likes up, y'all. It's a woman, but it's still hilarious. Was it a woman though, bro? It looked like a fucking guy, bro. She sounds ugly. Well, it's a guy, so uh, oh, shout out him. He said, "Hey, Bill, wanted to make a point that Drake and his team is attempting to alter federal law that allows standard paid promotion is the same as paying for radio promotion, which is legal." And that's the whole point that I was trying to make, bro. I think I was like, this all can't be legal, can it? Like, it has to be like interference or something. Like, you're trying to shift the odds in your favor. That can't be legal at all. How much money is so much money where you could get away with doing shit like that, though? I was just kidding about the Rick Ross thing. If it's a girl, it's a girl, bro. I don't want to put that on anybody, bro. Like, fuck it, just say it, bro. B's, not M's. B's, not M's? I mean, shit, bro. That's been my whole argument this whole time, Ham. And I'm glad that there's people in the chat that understand the mess that I try to explain sometimes. But yeah, I agree. Like, that has to be illegal. And it also falls in the same ballpark of what you're accusing Kendrick of and UMG of. My apologies. Oh, I'm going to break some bud, bro. I got to hit a ball, man. I'm not gonna lie. I think I did this whole live with the AC off, bro. I swear to God, bro. Oh my God. Where my lighter at? Whew. This shit right here. I think I muted my shit. All right, my bad. Check this out. I just want to talk about this real quick. Y'all see Drake anywhere on this pitch, bro? Like that fucking song, What Did I Miss, came off the fucking charts so fast, bro. So fast. Justin Bieber falling off the charts too quick. And look, Luther, and Luther, bro. I have a new theory about Luther. Y'all know that Luther had a beef with y'all know Luther Vandross beefed with Anita Baker, right? That's like public information, right? Y'all know that Luther had a beef with Anita Baker. Doesn't that sound strange to you? Isn't it weird that Kendrick had mentioned two R&B singers that in perspective both had beef with each other? Yep, I didn't know that. Yeah, you know what's even crazier? Anita Baker and Luther Vandross were on a tour together. Like, they were both on tour together while they were beefing. That's fucking hilarious. What was the beef? I think Luther Vandross was a diva, bro. And you could correct me if I'm wrong, bro. I don't know much about Luther Vandross's a personal life, but I heard he was a homosexual, or like a closeted homosexual, um, by the time that he was about to pass away. Y'all could correct me if I'm wrong. I like there's a whole documentary on YouTube, bro, and I was reading it, and I was like, I, like without nothing but facts, bro. I'm telling you, I just saw this whole documentary about Luther Vandross, and they were explaining how he was like this fucking across the. Oh, hold on, I gotta fuck it. What the fuck? I gotta fucking weird at. Oh, I gotta go on. How do I remove that shit? Hold on. I gotta go. I gotta go on Twitch to remove that shit. Oh wow, my god. That was back in 1988. Yeah, I was saying, why did Kendrick bring up Luther and Anita Baker? Like that was a whole other thing. Here, let me close out of all these things. I actually might need to leave these things open. Hold on, let me close out some of the things that I don't need. I have to go through all. Bro, by the time that you guys like you guys see me go through everything, right? But like by the time like every time my live ends, I swear to God, bro, there's like 30 tabs, and my laptop isn't the laptop that needs 30 tabs open at once. Like, I need to get this shit fixed, bro. I was only able to get um the certain pages on here that I want available, so I'm gonna have to close out of the other bullshit. All right, I'll close out of this one. Oh my god, this is crazy. Hold on. I think it was on YouTube. I could pull up the video that I saw. Hold up. Luther. It's about Luther, bro, and how he died alone. I didn't know Luther was like alone like that. You know what I mean? So hold on, what was it? I don't know if I'm gonna get smacked offline watching this documentary. This is by DRMs or Drums. Shout out to bro. He had 40K. Roots to bro. He got 1 million off this joint. So I was watching this. Let me turn off the fan. Hold on. I was looking at because I have a theory. After I watched this documentary, I had started to think that Luther was a diss to Drake. I mean, we all thought that all these songs from GNX were disses to Drake. Like when we heard "I Strangled Me a Goat," you know what I mean? Or like when he said "I'll strangle me a goat," when he said "Squabble Up," when he said all these lyrics and all these song titles. I thought Luther was just one of the exclusive ones that was just a love song. I didn't think there was any diss in particular to anybody. And then the music video came out, and he has the fucking GNX covered in a red tarp, and he has a fucking gun, and yeah, and I was like, hold on, this like what? When he dropped the Luther music video, I started to think that he was sneak dissing Drake even in the fucking music video. But now I'm starting to think that he was sneak dissing Drake with the song title because apparently Luther and Anita Baker were people that were mentioned in GNX consistently. I mean, Anita Baker was talked about in Whacked Out Murals. It was talked about in Reincarnated in Gloria. Like several times he's mentioned Anita Baker. And on the GNX tour, he could be seen walking out to Anita Baker before Bodies plays or after the track Bodies plays. So that always caught my attention. Watching this documentary for Luther Vandross, I realized that Luther Vandross, his career is very similar to to Drake's. Like, look at the comparisons to Luther and look at the comparisons to Drake. They are very similar, very similar. And every time that he explained Luther, it made more sense, especially his beef with Anita Baker. And maybe I could show that here. Never Too Much was. Oh, and he started beefing with Aretha Franklin. He started beefing with Aretha, and then it started weird. He was like a diva, and he was beefing with he was beefing with everybody. At this time, it was mainly women singers, and he was beefing with Anita Baker. He was beefing with Aretha Franklin, and In Vogue. He was beefing with In Vogue. He didn't want anybody to be bigger than him. Look, watch this. Sound familiar? Let me put that back. Let's see what he said. What'd I say, bro? Does that sound familiar? No sound? Type of one if you can hear this, y'all. We couldn't hear. Oh, hold on. I probably didn't enable sound. Hold on. Hold on, y'all.
Story.
Type of one if you can hear this, y'all.
My middle name is Ron.
A singer known for Luther Vandross.
Are you happy?
It depends. It also depends on when you ask. Asking right now? No, not particularly.
From the day Luther Vandross was introduced to us, he embodied a walking paradox. A singer known for his love songs that connected with millions of people around the globe, but in fact never had a love of his own.
Y'all hear that? Let me replay it one more time. Look at what he says about him making love songs.
Vandross was introduced to us, he embodied a walking paradox. A singer known for his love songs that connected with millions of people around the globe, but in fact never had a love of his own. In this video,
made love songs for the people around the globe, but never had a love of his own.
we'll explore Luther's life, career, and the profound loneliness that shaped his personal journey. This is his story.
My middle name is Ronzoni.
Is this really true?
It is actually. It's on the birth certificate and everything.
Luther Ronzoni
Vandross.
Luther Ronzoni Vandross Jr. was born on April 20th, 1951 in New York City. Vandross grew up in a musical household in Manhattan's Lower East Side in the Alfred E. Smith public housing development. His mother, Mary Ida Vandross, was a nurse, and his father, Luther Vandross, that same year.
Long and hard to get where you are, but it does seem kind of sudden. Why is that?
Well, as a solo singer, I've only had one album, which was called Never Too Much, and I don't know why it doesn't seem sudden to me. It probably seems sudden because I was pretty anonymous for a long time, singing in the background as a session singer and as a jingle singer. Well, for like Chaka Khan and Roberta Flack and David Bowie and Carly Simon.
I understand you.
Luther Vandross's solo career took off in 1981 with the release.
I'm gonna get a drink, y'all. But look, if you're just catching up, I'm trying to explain how Kendrick had made a song called Luther, but the title could have been a diss to Drake because of the comparisons that Drake draws to Luther, especially with all the things that he would do around the time that he would be alive with other people. Like he started dissing women, and in particular Anita Baker, who was also named in GNX. He beat for her while they were on tour together. Look.
Release of his debut album, Never Too Much. The title track, written by Vandross himself, became an instant hit, reaching #1 on the R&B charts and establishing him as a formidable force in the music industry. The album's success was not just limited to the title track. Songs like Don't You Know That and House Is Not a Home showcased his vocal prowess and ability to convey deep emotion through his music. Vandross continued to build on his success with a string of platinum albums throughout the 1980s. His second album, Forever for Always for Love, released in 1982, was another hit, featuring the popular tracks Bad Boy Having a Party and Since I Lost My Baby. By 1982, the world knew Luther. He was nominated for a Grammy, but lost to James Ingram. He also got the opportunity to work with one of his teenage idols, Aretha Franklin, for who he produced the album Jump to It. The single of the same name was Franklin's first top 40 pop hit in 6 years, and the album went on to go gold. But the honeymoon phase wouldn't last long. While recording Aretha's 1983 follow-up album, Luther was giving Aretha notes and advice on her singing. This upset Aretha, who thought that she didn't need any pointers on how to sing. Plus, she was the one who Luther used to study. How dare he tell her what to do, she thought. The two began arguing back and forth, causing
beef. Now, who else beefs with other people in their genre? And it's not just Aretha, y'all. he beefed with more than just one person. It was so bad that he wouldn't like when people would get on stage with him and share a stage or outshine him. Like, it was that bad. He was that jealous.
Aretha to walk out of the recording session in New York and drive her bus all the way back to Detroit. The two refused to speak to each other for a while. Clive Davis was calling, asking where the progress was on the album, but Luther had no answers. Until Cissy Houston, mother of Whitney, would call an intervention for the two to talk it out. They eventually got back in the studio and recorded the 1983 Get It Right album, which was also successful for Aretha. Luther's own 1983 album, Busybody, was topped off by the smash single Superstar. It also included How Many Times Can We Say Goodbye, a duet with Dionne Warwick, his main inspiration and a dream collaboration for him.
What inspired you, Luther, to actually become in the industry?
He works with his heroes, just like Drake. He got to work with his heroes, but he also is beefing with his idols at the same time, beefing with people in the same space as him. Does it sound familiar to you? Luther has a lot of similarities to Drake. Did Kendrick name it Luther because of these similarities?
I was sitting in the theater, and this girl singer came on in a red dress, okay? And she sang Don't Make Me Over and Walk On By, okay? And I can tell you specifically that right at that moment, I knew that I wanted to be able to affect people the way that she had affected me. And that, of course, turned out to be Dionne.
Luther and Dionne would become lifelong friends. In 1985, Luther was watching Star Search when he spotted a young boy with a voice like silk. Jimmy Salvemini was a 14-year-old Italian boy from Long Island. Luther immediately contacted Jimmy, thinking he would sound good on some of the songs he was working on. He was managed by his brother, Larry Salvemini. Luther would fly the two out to work with him in Los Angeles, where he would help them negotiate a contract with Elektra Records for $250,000 and produce Jimmy's debut album.
Now, last week last year there were a lot of rumors because you got thin.
Mm-hmm.
This was another similarity that I wanted to talk about. Luther also was criticized a lot about his weight, about how he looked, who also gets criticized about how they look. And I hate to fucking do this because I didn't watch this with the intentions of comparing Drake to Luther. It just, like, everything that they were saying, it just seemed like, I guess he has a lot more. I watched this thinking that Luther had something in common with Kendrick. That's why or maybe he just liked the music. I wanted to see why, right? So I checked out this documentary. But in watching this documentary, it comes to my realization that he had more in common with Drake than Kendrick, Luther did, right? And also going to the weight. He struggled with his weight. And that was a main thing that people talk about currently with Drake.
Hey, you got a new body.
Yeah, you're not going to ask me about that stupid thing.
No, I'm going to ask you what diet you went on.
So irresponsibly wrote in.
I'm not going to even mention it. Look at my face.
And
I'm not asking
retracted in a subsequent issue.
No, but I am going to ask you what you did.
Okay. What I did was I went on a diet and I lost 126 pounds.
Also in 1985, Luther would threaten to sue Blues and Soul, a British music.
He also threatened to sue. Hey, look, bro. Look, bro. This is fucking crazy. This is crazy. Blues and Soul was a big magazine. Am I not in the British area? Y'all can tell me if you're from London. Shout out London, UK. Don't stab me. But yeah, bro. Threatened to sue, dealing with weight, beefing with idols. Like, what? Hold on. It keeps getting more interesting. Watch.
Magazine for wrongly printing that he was suffering from the AIDS virus. Luther denied having the disease and would make the rounds to different media outlets to shut down the rumor. Nevertheless, the damage was done, and this would add fuel to the questions many people had about his love life. It didn't help the rumors that Luther had shed a bunch of weight during this time. His new svelte physique was a testament to something else, though. Love. He was in a relationship, and due to that, wanted to look nice for his new partner. But of course, he never shared who the person was with the public. Luther was a very private person. He was never seen with lovers. We never knew if they were male or female. He never talked about them. But
and that's fucking crazy also, right? like like what the fuck, bro? And I didn't know Luther's sexual history, right? I didn't know his sexual preference. As I'm hearing this, I'm like, what the fuck, bro? The Iceman theories and shit like that. Shout out Monét, not the merchant.
Seen with lovers. We never knew if they were male or female. He never talked about them. But but from his music we all knew that he had love inside of him. He just wouldn't tell us. Luther and the Salvamini brothers were working on Jimmy's album in Los Angeles. During this time, he became very close with them, showing them around town and working on music. Luther was pulling out all the stops for the album, calling Irene Cara and Cheryl Lynn to appear on the record. The day after the album was finished, Jimmy, Larry, and Luther were driving in Luther's Mercedes on Laurel Canyon Boulevard when suddenly there was a crash. Luther came away with minor injuries. Jimmy was rushed to the hospital with a collapsed lung. But Larry was in much worse shape and eventually passed away at the hospital. Prosecutors initially charged Luther with felony vehicular manslaughter, but later determined they lacked the evidence to indict him. The Salvamini family would file an unlawful death suit against Luther, and the case would be settled for around $630,000. This loss deeply impacted Luther. He would never talk about it in the media, but for all accounts, Larry had become one of his best friends, and his death was not only heartbreaking, but personally traumatizing for him. But even through
so rest in peace to bro. He lost a friend. But this is the part
across the hall walked one of the waiters, and I said, "See Whitney?" I said, "That's the size I want to get down to." Yeah, but Luther, he can't sing.
Despite his success, Vandross faced several personal and professional challenges. His struggle with weight gain and health issues was a constant battle throughout his life. This was exacerbated with the loss of his drummer Yogi Horton, who had passed away in 1987 from a self-inflicted fall. Luther had gained 120 pounds through his grief, and the person fans had seen in the MTV videos looked different when they caught him in person.
That's crazy.
Nevertheless, Luther was a superstar, some would even call him a diva, and he had many battles with the other divas of the day. One of his most famous feuds was between him and Anita Baker.
And this is when I was like, what the fuck, bro? I was like, and I get what you guys are saying. What if it was just a tribute? But when I watched this documentary and I found out more about how Luther was and who he was, I'm starting to think like, what the fuck? And this beef is interesting because he had a full-on beef with Anita Baker, and that's somebody else that Kendrick Lamar references on the album. Chilling in the front, bumping Anita Baker, with the tape deck, bumping Anita Baker. Like GNX, he says it there. Sentado, Anita y tú. Like he was saying Anita Baker's name throughout this fucking album, and lands a song called Luther on the album also. And they had beef with each other, and he's dealing with this beef with Drake. So it's like, hold on.
Other divas of the day. One of his most famous feuds was between him and Anita Baker. Anita was at the top of her game in the late 80s, fresh off her hit album Rapture. Their beef all began during the 1987 Grammys. Luther and Anita had agreed to sing the Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell duet, Your Precious Love, and had rehearsed everything to be on the live television broadcast. However, on the day of the Grammys, Anita changed her mind and opted to sing a tribute to Billie Holiday instead, without Luther. That obviously rubbed him the wrong way. On top of that, he lost his Grammy nomination that night, throwing salt on the wound. Somehow, these two end up co-headlining a tour together. Aptly titled The Heat, the two stars avoided each other to no avail. Luther had curtains put together, aptly titled The Heat.
They did this tour, the Soft Sheen Product Presents The Heat, which was the name of the tour that they both did together. Oddly enough, Kendrick is performing the GNX tour with a female singer. However, he's not in beef. He doesn't have a beef involved with that singer, but it's just funny to point out. But the woman, Anita Baker, that he mentions on this GNX album that he's singing on this GNX tour, had a ongoing issue on tour with Luther because they had a beef.
Heat, the two stars avoided each other to no avail. Luther had curtains put up to avoid even seeing Anita. Whenever Luther entered the venue, security guards would lock Anita's dressing room and shield the two stars from each other. The tour was tension-filled but commercially successful. The crowds loved to see two of the biggest R&B stars of the time going head-to-head vocally, even if they didn't care for each other. For all his commercial and critical success, it's a wonder that Luther wasn't a Grammy darling. But 9 years after he had released his first album, he had never won the award. In 1991, Vandross released Power of Love, which won him his first Grammy Award for Best Male R&B Vocal Performance. The album's title track and Don't Want to Be a Fool were both major hits, and the album itself went platinum. Luther put out his 8th studio album, Never Let Me Go, in 1993. It was his first album to not debut at number 1 on the R&B album charts, and did not receive any of the acclaim Luther had been accustomed to getting throughout his career.
This is where his career hits a decline. Like, he is not going number 1 like he used to. Does that sound familiar also? Like, my God, bro. Like, as I'm hearing this, I can't help but to think of dude, because it's like, bro, there's a lot of similarities. There is a lot of similarities. But mind you, I was watching this with the intentions of thinking that Luther was going to have more similarities to Kendrick, which is why, or at least I was trying to see why he drawed inspiration from Luther. But as I'm hearing everything that's being said, it looks like his life was more similar to Drake's. So was he naming it Luther just because it was another shot at Drake?
The tour to promote the album would be just as disastrous as the album itself.
We're opening for Luther, and Luther's fabulous.
Yes.
Dawn, Terry, Cindy, and
That's
Maxine,
crazy.
also known as In Vogue,
Shout out TG.
abruptly left his 1993 Never Let Me Go tour due to spats with Luther.
This is another thing. In Vogue, shout out In Vogue. I fucking love In Vogue. There's this song that Snoop Dogg had sampled that I actually checked out, and I love the beat from it. I forgot what it was called, but In Vogue's cool. And there's like, I believe they're a group, and he didn't like them outshining him. He would make them dress a certain way just so that way they didn't get a lot of attention, which is going to break down right now. But it's just like, this is another thing that leads to a similarity. He doesn't like when people outshine him.
The group signed a contract that stated that they would be paid $55,000 each concert, but they couldn't do a few things. They couldn't wear any colors that Luther or his band were wearing. No reds, no whites, no blues or blacks. They also couldn't wear sparkles. Also, Luther's stage was in the round, meaning that it was in the middle of the arena and rotated around for the entire audience to see. En Vogue had signed a contract stating that their band was supposed to be on the stage. But when audiences started complaining that the stage was so cluttered they couldn't see, and the ladies started receiving bad reviews from critics, they wanted to move the band to where Luther's was, which he had a problem with. It was in their contract that they couldn't wear certain colors and outfits, Luther explained, because that would diffuse the impact of what my backup singers wore. After all, those gowns that Lisa and Ava wear on stage cost me $20,000 each, and they have several of them. And since they were designed to get maximum response from the audience, I don't think it was unreasonable to ask En Vogue not to wear the same colors or styles we did. Look, people who buy tickets to my show expect to see and hear something new and different every time. Impressing them with the fabulous clothes my singers wear is almost as important as the performance itself.
And I have to disagree with that. I don't think that what they wore was going to determine the outcome of this crowd's reaction to this performance. I really don't think that was the case, bro, at all. Shout out Clifford, bruh, for the $100 donation. W Clifford in the fucking chat. Let's fucking go, Clifford. Let's go, Cliff. W Clifford in the chat. Oh my God, bro. Damn, Cliff. I appreciate you, bro. W Cliff in the chat. W Clifford, bruh. W Clifford, bruh. Damn, Cliff. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, bro. Let's fucking go, man. Sorry if I'm clapping and if it's loud. I'm so sorry. Let's fucking go, Clifford. Let's fucking go, man. Hey, bro, everybody drink up. Everybody hit a bowl, man. This was for you, Cliff. I'm about to cough up a lung for you, Cliff. This was for you, Cliff. Let's fucking go, Cliff. W Clifford, bro. W Clifford. W everybody, man. But thank you, bro. Thank you. Sincerely, bro. It means a lot. It really does mean a lot. Like, from the bottom of my heart, bro. Thank you so much. Everybody hit a bowl, bro. W Clifford in the chat. Y'all spam that shit. Oh my God. Sorry, bro. I didn't mean to cough up a lung, bro.
En Vogue signed the contract, but tensions would flare as the tour went on, all culminating in a big blow-up between Luther and the ladies, in which Luther called the police on them for disregarding the curtains he put up to shield himself from the group. En Vogue would go on to tell their story in the press, but Luther would dismiss the girls, calling them spoiled,
WTG for the 5, man. WTG. Everybody put W Clifford WTG in the chat, y'all. I appreciate you, TG. Thank you for being in here. Thank you for communicating. Thank you, Clifford, for tapping in. Jacob, also Nathan, Captain, Sophia, and Zenas, bro. I appreciate everybody in here, man. Thank you so much, bro. W's, y'all.
Truth-telling contract breakers. Away from the petty girl group drama, this tour proved to be a tough time for Luther personally. His sister, Patricia, passed away in the middle of it. His longtime manager Billy Bass would also quit the tour as well, stating Luther is a very successful guy in his professional life, but a guy who's often very unhappy off the stage. And when Luther is miserable, he tends to make the lives of those around him miserable. And when Luther got home from the tour, he would not have anyone waiting for him there. No one to cook meals or lounge around with. It was just him.
This is an album of classic songs. I define classic as songs which stand the test of time, songs which are not flavor of the month songs, songs that the generations can share.
In 1994,
I think it does matter, though. He is not wrong. Luther did make music that did stand the test of time. And there is going to be certain songs, man, that Luther had made, Anita had made, that really did stand the test of time. But let me just get to the next similarity here, the critical flop. So this is another thing that they're going to talk about, that Luther, by the end of his career, he wasn't able to sell as, despite being a successful artist in his prime. There was also a time where he started to decline as well, which sounds similar to Drake, because Drake is also in that decline state right now.
Or he released Songs, an album of covers that showcased his versatility as an artist. The album included his rendition of Lionel Richie's Hello and Endless Love, a duet with Mariah Carey, which became a massive hit. The album was panned by critics, claiming inauthenticity from the whole thing. Amidst the critical flop, Luther took a break after Songs and focused on his personal health. He had ballooned to 314 pounds at that point, and would use the time to create an extremely regimented workout routine and low-calorie diet. But by 2001, he was ready for a comeback.
First of all, you look wonderful.
Well,
You
merci
look
beaucoup.
terrific.
Thanks.
What are you doing?
You know, I'm doing the square thing. I'm exercising and dieting and, improving my health in the process.
Luther signed to Clive Davis's J Records and released a self-titled album in 2001. It produced the hit Take You Out, which is still a jam to this day. In 2003, Vandross released what would be his final studio album, Dance with My Father. The title track, a deeply personal song about his late father, won the Grammy Award for Song of the Year in 2004. But Luther was not able to make it to the Grammys that night, rather appearing in a pre-taped video to accept his award. Although he had tried to control his health starting in the late 90s, his struggles with his weight and hypertension haunted him. In April 2003, he suffered a severe stroke that left him in a coma for nearly 2 months. The stroke affected his ability to speak and sing, and Vandross spent the next couple years, famously openly gay singer-songwriter.
Right. This is the part.
Spent the next couple years of his...
And there was this theory that was going around with and I think it was Monét. Shout out to them with Monét. She did the whole Iceman breakdown herself, and she had talked about the X-Men character Iceman, which I thought was real interesting. You should go and check it out. But she also did this theory, bro, and it ties in. Funny enough, just watch
life and recovery. But even still, he longed for love. Michael Musto, associate of Luther's, insisted the singer was desperate to find a boyfriend in the years before he passed away, saying, "A famously openly gay singer-songwriter told me Luther was dying to have a boyfriend. It was an inside show business open secret." The paradox of that the person who sang these beautiful songs, the person who brought so many people together, was dying and did not have a romantic partner to share his last days with, was spellbounding. Luther, a force with a voice that inspired.
Now that's crazy, bro. It's like to hear and to compare. Even if you were to say, nah, Kendrick is not talking about Drake and comparing him to Luther, is he? Even if that's not the case, you can't say that there is a strong comparison to Luther's life and Drake's life. Even if you don't count this last part, right? Everything else still adds up. And the Anita Baker beef is still interesting to me, because that's the girl that Kendrick was rocking with to me throughout that whole album.
Who sang these beautiful songs. The person who brought so many people together was dying and did not have a romantic partner to share his last days with, was spellbounding. Luther, a force with a voice that inspired love from the masses, was alone. But he had family. His mother was there and would make appearances in his honor, even appearing at the AMAs to accept his last award. And sure, Luther had the love of the people. We loved him. But that romantic love, that longing for someone to share his life with, was missing for Luther, and he never had it. Sure, he had partners here and there, but the gripping love that inspired songs like Superstar and A House Is Not a Home was not there for him, even if he did want it desperately. His last public appearance was in May 2004 on The Oprah Winfrey Show. And on July 1st, 2005, Luther Vandross passed away at the age of 54.
Rest in peace, bro. But yeah, and he died alone, bro. So like, it's just like, damn, the similarities were really there, and I really wanted to make a video about this. I probably still will. It's just that a lot of people, I don't know if they'll, because it's just like, my opinion. Tinfoil hat on. I'm not trying to say that this is real. I'm not trying to say that Kendrick really intended to do this. But as I listened to the GNX album and I watched this documentary, I can't help but to think that Drake and Luther had a lot of similarities in their careers, whether it came to the beef that they were involved in with other people in their genre, or the decline, or the weight insecurities, the health concerns from the public. It all just draws to the same. And he sued. He sued him. He sued also. So that was another thing too. But I digress, man. I really do think that there was a lot of similarities. If you would like for me to make a video about this, you could let me know. And I'll try to do a breakdown of what we could compare and contrast with each other. And I'll make a video about it. But I definitely thought that this was very interesting to point out. Even if Kendrick didn't intend for that, it does seem to me that Drake and Luther have a lot in common. But rest in peace to Luther. Still one of the greatest singers of any generation. And big respect to him. No disrespect. I love Luther Vandross. At this point, I've learned to appreciate him more as an artist after watching this documentary. And everybody as well. Like, you really heard the dynamics and issues that these R&B singers were going through at this time. The industry, if we look at it now when we talk about smear campaign, imagine what everybody else was dealing with in the past. Egos, everything. Egos driven. Everybody around wants to be better than one another. Anita Baker and Luther Vandross had a concert together where they had a fucking brick wall set between them. I guess is what they were saying, right? It's just like, damn, bro. They be ruthless out there in the R&B scene. Now I know why Chris Brown is so mean. Luther's one of my favorite artists. Al Green. I like Al Green. I like Luther. I just didn't know like his past like this, I didn't know that this was his love life, his ordeals with other industry artists. I didn't know that he was beefing with Anita Baker. And I'm sitting back and I'm like chilling in the tape deck, bumping Anita Baker. I was like, oh wow, like now that's why he brings up Anita Baker. Like, I don't know. And we got the Gloria thing with the Mark Hotel. We have all this other shit, but y'all tell me, man. Y'all want me to make a video about this? I probably will. But if y'all want to tell me, you could tap into the Discord and make sure you tap into the Discord, man. Big shout out to Clifford, bro. Big shout out to TG. Love you, TG, with all my heart. Love you, Clifford, bro. You're a real one, man. Thank you so much, bro. Oh my God, bro. Let's fucking go, man. I appreciate y'all with all my heart, bro. I can't fucking if I could do a backflip, I could, bro. I promise you, I would try to. I would try. I would really try. Now I can't do a backflip, bro. I actually slipped on water yesterday and broke my hip, bro. Now I guess that's something me and Drake have in common too. Both of us got fucked up hips, but yeah, I'm just playing. This is hilarious. W Clifford, W Jacob, W Nathan, W Captain, Sophie, Zenus, bro, TG, everybody, bro. My God. I'm gonna hit one more ball. I'm gonna get off, y'all. I love y'all. I promise. I promise I'll get off. Another 2-hour live stream for the books, y'all. If y'all want to tap into the Patreon, you can. This is probably gonna go because that lady that I was talking about, bro, I was kind of talking crazy, bro. And she looked like a fucking. If she's gonna go and put if she's gonna put herself in that lawsuit, bro, fuck that, bro. I keep it a legend. None of this is real. I'm drunk, bro. Like, I swear to God, I don't make sense at the time. I have, and true story, I do got ADHD, bro. So, like, my ADHD, I got the one where we talk about two things at once, bro. So, like, Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are you gonna do, bro? Sue somebody with a disability, bro? Come on. Hey, bro, don't hate me. Don't hate me, bro. I love y'all though. W Clifford, W Zenus. Shit, bro. I gotta do something for y'all, man. For real. Happy birthday, Daniel. Yeah, happy birthday. What the fuck, bro? Happy birthday, Daniel. Thank you so much for reminding me, Zenus. Yeah, happy birthday, bro. I see you on the Discord, bro. I see you doing your thing. Blood in, blood out. I want his life. Yeah, salute, bro. Happy birthday, man. GG's, y'all. Happy birthday, Daniel. It's always a legend for sure. That was for you, y'all. I got to go to work tomorrow. I got to get some hours in before, because I think I got to go to the. I go to. I have some plans with the family to go out. I'm gonna go out with the family actually around the 25th. So we're gonna be doing our own thing, bro. We already had it planned for months. So I'll be MIA for probably like the next 2 days, from the 25th to the 27th type shit. But if I pop in for a live, you might see me. I appreciate everybody that's in here. If you want to catch the replay, catch the replay. I'll keep it up for a little bit before I put it on the Patreon. Make sure y'all stay tapped in. We need those alleged shirts. Oh, I'm tapping in with Shopify, bro. So I actually I'm gonna make merch soon, bro. I'm gonna start with shirts, and then I'm gonna try to think of something else to make once I get a hold of it. But I already made the Shopify account. Once I get the link ready, I'm gonna send it to y'all. So y'all make sure you tap into that, bro. I want to be able to like provide something for y'all, and something exclusive, maybe limited time shit. But once I figure it out, I'll let you know. But thank you. Y'all take care, man. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next video, man. Peace. Keep it a legend.